Under the heading of visional actualization, I've asked the council to look at the following: enhancing the value add dynamic to all churches. What does it mean to be Church of God? The question that we hear is, what's in it for me? And we've got to address the value add dynamic to all churches. Secondly, under this heading, I've asked them to look at the Great Commission budget funding that supports the core values of the Church of God. Let me say that again. You'll read it for yourself momentarily. It's on the screen. Great Commission budget funding that supports the core values of the Church of God. There are things listed in our core values that don't have one dime of support coming from the budget. But we're funding things that just continue to keep a machine alive for the sake of keeping the machine alive. The next one is the revisioning of methods, structures, and delivery systems in light of a multinational and multi-generational culture. The revisioning of methods, structures, delivery systems in light of a multinational and multi-generational culture. Then I've asked them to look at church planning, multi-site campuses, and the expansion of church revitalization. I've asked them to be very specifically in looking at the opportunities that we have of strategic development for urban impact mission regions in western USA. My heart was touched recently when Paul and I were in the West. What a harvest. What a harvest. And the truth is, predominantly, we have been a southeastern church. You know that's the truth. But there is such a harvest in so many other regions of our nations that we have to be intentional about. I've asked them to look at the actualization of a more global context of ministry. The actualization of a more global context of ministry. World missions messed me up for the rest of my life. I'm sorry. When you see ministry that this church has birthed in 183 nations of the world, our general assemblies have got to start looking like that. Our local churches, our ministries have got to become more mirrored of what we really are around the world. I've asked them to take a strong look at that. I've asked them to look at affiliation and amalgamation procedures, something we have in place that we're not utilizing to the fullest. Under the heading of ministerial activation, I've asked the Council of 18 to look at women in ministry and leadership, enhancement of ministerial well-being, rehabilitation and reinstatement procedures, harmonization of standards relative to applicants for ministry, the pastoral placement process, an enhanced credentialing process, the enhancement of ministerial development procedures, the enhancing the right and role of ordained level ministry with clarity, the use of the title of ordained bishop. That's coming to us from the General Assembly. Under generational assimilation, I've asked the council to take a look at the aging of ministry. You saw the stats we gave you 2 nights ago. I've asked them to take a strong look at opportunities for upward mobility for a new generation of potential leaders at all levels of ministry and administration. Under structural acclamation, I've asked the council to take a look and bring back reports that possibly will lead to agenda items at the assembly relative to distinctives and proclivities of structure. We talked about this one last night, but I've asked them to take a look at tithing and reporting consistency. I've asked them to take a look at elections and appointments reflecting a multicultural diversity. I've asked the council to take a look at enhancing the preparation of state regional leaders for more effective ministry and administrative success. Next, I've asked them to take a look at being focused on focused appointment consideration for greater missional impact. And then state director length of tenure. Lastly, under spiritual acceleration, I've asked the council to take a look at our core values so that we make a renewed commitment to the core values of our church, trusting that when we do that, there will be a spiritual energy and revival that'll touch this church.